Biot-Savart law.
Magnetic field due to a current. As we have studied in the previous section, the test point charge, when it is kept in a magnetic field, if it is stationary, it will not experience any force. But when it's moving with some certain velocity, definitely it will experience some force. Biot-Savart's law gives us the relationship between magnetic field produced by a current carrying wire. Here magnetic field is there, but not because of the magnetic poles. This magnetic field is due to a current carrying wire. With the help of this Biot-Savart law, we can find out magnetic field at any point at distance r due to this current carrying wire. So Biot-Savart's law purely it gives us relation between the current carrying wire and the point, a certain point, a reference point where we are considering what will be the magnetic field due to this current carrying wire. Here I have taken any arbitrary shape wire carrying a current I over here. The current in the differential length elements dl is produced differential magnetic fields. That means Biot-Savart's law will not give you a complete magnetic field due to whole this current carrying wire. It gives you a small element. If you consider, it is called as an element over here. When you consider small infinitesimal length, then it is called a element over here, length element. What will be the magnetic field at point P due to this length element? So what will happen if you consider any arbitrarily shaped wire carrying a current I have taken here dl, which is called as a length element, and if I want to combine these two, I will call them as a current length element, I dl. What is the need to combine these two? Because I is a scalar quantity. So if you want to express with a vector quantity, then dl is considered as a vector quantity over here, because dl is nothing but it is a direction of flow of current. By combining I dl, you will get the direction of I. So what will happen when you consider only dl, it is a length element. When you consider I dl, it is a current length element, or you can say only current element also. Other than this, P is a point where we are going to determine the magnetic field due to this element, this length element. So the current in this element is in the direction of length vector, that is dl. R is the distance between the current element and the point P, and theta, if you take here, it is a theta is the angle between this dl and R. So strength of magnetic field at point P is, see here we have taken this length element over here. Since it is a very small length we are considered, the magnetic effect also on this P due to this also small. So magnetic field, we'll take a dB over here. So dB is directly proportional to that current element. How come? If the length is small, the magnetic field is also small. According to Biot-Savart's law, the dB is directly proportional. The small magnetic field due to this current element is directly proportional to the current flowing through that wire and the length you have considered. This dB is also inversely proportional to the square of the distance. It is influenced by Coulomb's law. So if the distance between this current length element and the P, the reference point, increases, it will affect the magnetic field. So the strength of magnetic field also decreases. So, however, R is inversely proportional to strength of magnetic field. If distance increases, obviously the strength of magnetic field decreases. So, dB is inversely proportional to R square, and also dB is directly proportional to sin theta. If you are talking about this point P, the strength at point P depends upon two important things. One is the distance between the length element and the P, and the second one, the angle made by this length element and the distance R. Just think, if this element, if I take any point P over here, means the distance between that length element and the P is perpendicular, then sin 90 is 1. That is maximum. If you go on shifting P over here, theta become acute, and somewhere it become 0. So, the strength at magnetic field point P depends upon two things over here. One is the distance between the current element and P, and the second thing, the angle made between that current element and R. So, here it is considered as dB is directly proportional to sin theta. Here I have written if theta is 90, then dB will be maximum, or vice versa. If it is less, then it will be minimum. If you combine all these things, dB is directly proportional to IDL sin theta and divided by R square. So, the proportionality constant we are taking mu naught by 4 pi, where mu naught is called the permeability constant. It is proportionality constant mu naught by 4 pi. IDL sin theta by R square. As you studied in the 11th standard, where mu naught is the permeability constant, whose value is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. How to determine the SI unit of this mu naught? Question for Biot-Savart's law, if you consider dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi IDL sin theta by R square. If I want to find out mu naught or mu naught by 4 pi ka SI unit, how to find out? See here, keeping this here, dB is in terms of Tesla. It is a magnetic field. SI unit is Tesla. R square comes over here. So, it is a meter square. The distance it is. And the I comes over down. That is a ampere. And DL is again a, in terms of length, it is a meter. And sin theta is a unitless. So, meter, this meter get cancelled. You left with the Tesla meter per ampere. Here I have written Tesla meter per ampere. If you substitute pi value and calculate, you will get a 1.26 into 10 raised to minus 6 Tesla meter per ampere. The direction of dB is dictated by the cross product of dl and r. The current element and cross product with the distance between that point where you are going to determine magnetic field. When you take the cross product, it will dictate the direction of this magnetic field. So, magnetic field in vector form, this expression can be written in a vector form as a dB mu naught by 4 pi IDL. Here 1 r is already there with this because of this, and divided by r cube. If you want to make it as in a magnitude only, then this r get cancelled and it will become IDL sin theta. Because of this cross product, it will become a sin theta, and as it is, you will get this expression. I hope I made it clear, this one. As you see, we have taken an orbitally shaped wire over here. What will happen or how to apply this Biot-Savart's law to this straight wire, straight long wire? When the question comes straight long wire, we take the length of this wire as 0 to infinity. So, let us see how we can apply this Biot-Savart's law in a current in a straight long wire. It can be called as one of the application based on this Biot-Savart's equation. So, I am considering a current element here. When the small section of any wire you are considering, it is called as a element, a length element. When current is passing through that, current combined with the current, we call it as a current element. You can also say current length element also. So, current length element, we have already seen in Biot-Savart's law, it is I into dl over here. So if it is situated at the R from the point P, the same case, only here arbitrarily shaped wire we had taken, and here we are getting a straight long wire of length 0 to infinity. We already seen in the above case here only. If you see, the direction of dB is decided by cross vector of dl and r. Like that, we are going to consider over here, if you apply Fleming's right hand rule over here, so you will find that direction of dB is into the plane of this paper. So I have taken over a cross section, and circle over here, and as I already explained you, sign conventions are based on a screw rule. So to find the magnitude of magnetic field produced at point P, same thing we had done in this case. Here also we had done with the help of the Biot-Savart's law what is the magnetic field at this point. So here also I have taken a point P, where we are going to find out the magnitude of magnetic field due to this straight long wire. So what I will do, I will take a point P over here and I divide this straight long wire into two sections. Because of the symmetry of this wire, it is a straight long wire. So because of this symmetry of the wire, magnetic field due to a current is same as in upper half part of the wire as same as the lower part of this wire. So when you divide into two sections this one, so what I had taken here, see, it is a B is equals to, that is a total strength of magnetic field at this point P is equals to 2 times of that dB. Means why 2 times? Due to this length, what will be the magnetic field at point P? And the lower part, due to the lower part, what will be the magnetic field at point P? So it become 2 times of dB, and the length we are considering as the range we are considering as 0 to infinity. So once again, by Biot-Savart's law, we are already familiar with the expression. So it is a dB is equals to mu naught 4 pi IDL sin theta by r square. The same thing I have put here, 2 ka 2, mu naught 4 pi is a constant, I took it out, and IDL sin theta by r square. If you continue solving this equation, so what you will get here, if you see this figure, here can I take a Pythagoras theorem to find out r, that is nothing but r square is equals to the length of this wire and this the distance between the point P to that length of the wire. So can I take this one as a L square plus r square. So therefore r is equals to under root L square plus r square over here. And if you take a sin theta, if you want to find out sin theta here, sin theta is equals to sin, in this case if it is a theta, the inner part will be 180 minus theta. This part will be 180 minus theta since it is a straight angle. So it can be written as sin 180 minus theta. And if you apply sin 180 minus theta in this triangle, it is opposite by hypotenuse. So it is nothing but r by r. So I can write sin theta as r divided by this r I can take like this. It is a under root L square plus r square over here. Therefore, call it as equation 1 over here. So equation 1 becomes, it is a B is equals to 2 times of mu naught by 4 pi 0 to infinity I dl sin theta is nothing but r divided by under root L square plus r square. And here you have a r square over here. So if I take a r square this one, it is a L square plus r square over here. So if you solve this one, it is a 2 mu naught 4 pi, r is also distance between the long wire and the point P. So it is constant. So I can write this one as a IDL. Here L square plus r square power 1 is there, and here L square plus r square power half is there. So 1 plus half, indices I am applying, 2 1s are 2, 1 plus 3 by 2. So can I write this, combine these two, L square plus r square raised to 3 by 2. Now call it as equation 2. The solving of equation 2 is a very important thing over here. So how to solve this one? Since I is also constant throughout the wire, so you can take this I also as a constant over here by removing from here. So you have to solve now only the integral 0 to infinity dl by L square plus R square raised to 3 by 2. Now how to solve this? I am only taking this integral part now. So I will take this one as a I1, as we have studied in a definite and indefinite integral 1. So I will take 0 to infinity dl divided by L square plus R square raised to 3 by 2. Substitute L is equals to R tan theta. And if when you substitute in any integral, you have to do dl, you have to find out dl also. So it is R tan ka differentiation sec square theta and d theta. So we can substitute dl over here, R sec square theta d theta. Once the substitution become in any definite integral, when we call it as definite integral, when it has some limits over here, lower limit and upper limit, some range over here. So when you substitute something for any term, then the limits also get changed. So if here it is a limit of what? It is a limit of length. Length we have taken from 0 to infinity. So length 0 became. So what became? This becomes 0. So 0 by this R also become 0. So tan theta become 0. Tan theta becomes 0. Where is tan theta is 0? If you see in the table, it is a tan 0 is 0. So we can write this one as a tan theta equals to tan 0. So theta equals to 0 here. And once again this L is equals to infinity, then this become infinity. Infinity by anything is infinity. So tan theta became infinity over here. So infinity is nothing but tan 90 in the table. So in place of theta, you will get pi by 2. Now the above integral will become what it will be now. Therefore, I is equals to 0 to pi by 2 now. 0 to infinity it was, now it becomes 0 to pi by 2. dl we have as a R sec square theta d theta divided by L square plus R square over here. What is L square over here? It is a L square is R square tan square theta. So it is a R square tan square theta. Then plus R square ka R square. Then it became 3 by 2. So if you take here 0 to pi by 2 once again. So it is a R sec square theta d theta divided by, if you take R square common over here, if the power of 3 by 2 it also it comes. So R square 3 by 2 and left thing is tan square theta plus 1 over here raised to 3 by 2. So 2 get cancelled. So you left with 1 R cancel with the 3 R's are there. So 1 R cancel with this R. So R square become 1 upon R square. So keep it out as R is constant. So it became 0 to pi by 2. It became sec square theta d theta divided by 1 plus tan square identity, trigonometric identity. So it is once again sec square theta raised to 3 by 2. So if you proceed further, I am solving here only now for your convenience. So it is a I1 is equals to 1 upon R square, then 0 to pi by 2. Then what I can write here? Sec square theta d theta divided by, here if you see 2 get cancelled. So you left with sec cube theta. So I can write this one as sec cube theta. So once it get cancelled, that sec square cancel with the sec 2 sec over here. 1 by sec is remaining. So can I write 1 by sec as a cos theta over here? Cos theta d theta. So if you put limit now 1 by R square, the integration of cos theta is sin theta, lower limit and upper limit here, 1 by R square. If you solve this, sin 90 is 1. Sine 0 is 0. So you left with only with the 1 by r square. This 1 by r square is answer for this integral. Means this whole integral part can be substituted by 1 by r square. So what will happen now? Equation 2 becomes, as you see here, it is a I is equals to 2 times of mu naught I r divided by 4 pi, and the whole integral became 1 by r square here. So it is a 1 by r square. So r cancel with the 1 r. So you left with 2 mu naught I divided by 4 pi r. So this is the whole, here it is an b actually. If you see here, it is a b over here. Sorry. So 2 1s are 2 2s are. So it became mu naught I by 2 pi r over here. So b is equals to mu naught I by 2 pi r over here. So this is the expression, final expression for this case where the magnetic field at point P at a perpendicular distance from infinite straight wire. This is due to the upper semi-infinite part and as well as lower semi-infinite part of the wire. So what if I want only magnetic field at point P only because of this upper semi-infinite part, or only a lower semi-infinite part? So what you have to do, divide this final expression by 2. So you will get, for that case, you can write this one as a mu naught I, while dividing with the 2 means 2 2s became 4 pi r. This is the expression when you want only the magnetic field at point P due to this upper semi-infinite part or semi-lower infinite part. That's it.